Hello and welcome to the Redhead and the Bearded Beauty. I am the Bearded Beauty.
I'm the Redhead.
And welcome back. This week, later on, we're going to be talking with Gary Farris, our City Arborist. And so we've got some good jokes coming. At least I have some good ones saved. So hopefully you're not able to ruin these for me.
I'm going to try my hardest.
You should.
To be honest. I don't have any tree puns, and I usually like to be thematic, but I don't have any today.
Speaking of trees, would you try the acorn diet?
Nope, sounds nuts.
Yeah. Why did the tree need to take a nap?
I don't know.
For rest.
Okay. All right. That's enough out of it.
Should we just go to the interview?
Just go to the interview. Just do it. I'm trying to think about what's been going on lately. It's been some quiet council meetings, just business as usual. Still working on redistricting stuff. There's going to be a public forum next Tuesday as of this broadcast, and putting that together, finalizing details after we finish recording, actually.
Very nice. So you're saying you got work to do. You don't want to be here.
Yeah. What I'm saying is let's get it going.
let's get this over with.
Yeah. This is kind of like my break during the day, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to go have fun for 15 minutes and then back to it. Yeah.
Very good. So last week we talked about possibly trying to give away something for people guessing the names of the baby.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any comments yet, any guesses yet on social@wichita.gov. You can email your guesses to social@wichita.gov.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know if we're having a girl or a boy, so send us guesses for both. What you think the name will be.
You said my guesses were incorrect, so
yes.
I need to come up with new guesses.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm feeling competitive about it. I really want to win.
Yeah, and we should she's due on the 21st of September. So we also
like
probably
the song.
I'm not going to sing.
Do you think we could say?
You just about had me starting to sing.
I was just going to say, do you think we could sample it without YouTube taking our podcast down?
As long as we do it within the first 5 seconds, we probably ought to be all right.
I forgot from my law class in college how much of popular music you can sample, but yeah, we should sample that.
As long as we then gave some critique, I think it would be okay.
Okay, yeah.
So give critique of the song, and then it's justified use.
There's not enough boogie in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for some reason, we have something going on in the background here.
Nolan, what are you doing?
Is somebody in the chambers?
Oh, okay. So currently, as we're filming this, someone's in the podium, not realizing that the podium is changing our background. Let's see what they're going to open.
This is actually a lot of fun.
This is a lot of fun. This is your podcast live.
I think we should keep this in the show and not re-record.
I think we should. Oh, it's the all-staff meeting for housing.
Very nice.
Well, since they're maybe we should get into the interview so we can wrap this up and let them have the broadcast.
Take this out. We're going to take a quick break and then come back and finish this segment.
Yes. Be back momentarily. Okay. And we're back.
We're back.
All right, so we have the background back.
We got the background fixed, and we thought it would be quite entertaining rather than go redo it. We're going to leave that in there.
This is truth in action.
Yes.
Yeah.
To show our high quality setup here.
Well, I mean, it is kind of high quality, but our systems do link together between the presentations downstairs.
I will say for this background, we use a PC in another room.
Yeah.
To put the backgrounds up there, and I guess the room is being used right now.
The room is being used.
Maybe I should have checked that, but that's okay.
It's all good. Yeah.
The fun of live recording.
This is the quality that our 10 viewers have come to expect and to appreciate.
Yes. So
with their municipal.
So where were we?
We were talking about the 21st night of September and sampling Earth, Wind, and Fire, which I just did briefly, just because now I have the song in my head.
Yes.
So, yeah. Now I'm going to predict that your baby's name has something to do with Earth, Wind, and Fire.
That would actually be pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, if the names don't that you've picked out, they should.
They should, yeah. I still think, though, the baby's not going to come on the 21st. I think it'll be before that. So we need to create an office pool when the baby's going to come.
Yeah.
So,
should we put money behind it? That's illegal. We can't do that.
We can't do that.
We can't do that.
No.
Don't do that.
Don't do that, but yes.
If
the DA is watching, no. But
I don't think they are. I think we're fine. It wouldn't be the first time that you have broken the law. And it's time for us to talk about it.
Which law would you be talking about?
That would be the law that you break every day by harboring an illegal turtle in your backyard.
I gave it a home.
Turtles are against city ordinance,
Which
and
technically I didn't break the law.
I
just built a shelter for it. It showed up in my house.
These are technicalities.
I'm not the one who brought it home.
You're harboring a fugitive then.
I just saw that it was out of its environment, so I built a structure for it to have the best possible environment and be safe.
Right.
We'll go with that.
Okay. All right. If that's how you want to address that, but I'm just saying.
He knows his name, by the way.
Does the turtle knows his name?
The turtle knows his name.
What's the turtle's name?
Turbo.
Our
girls will hold him like, "Hey, Turbo," and he turns his head. It's the coolest thing.
Can you say any word and he turns his head?
You're ruining the moment here.
I don't want to disparage Turbo at all, but
funny thing, last night I let the dog out to go to the bathroom, and I go out there to check on the turtle, and I lift up his little log. We have this little kind of curved log thing, and he likes to hide out under there. And I pick him up, and his eyes are closed, and he's in his shell. I'm like, oh, cool, he's sleeping. So I put him back, but where I can see his head. Yeah. As soon as I remove my hand, I see one eye open and look up at me.
Oh.
Then he closes his eye real quick.
Oh.
He's like, what you doing out here?
Turtles are so cute. Next time we talked about this, but we're going to talk about some silly laws that are still on the books. So
when I was researching Two Truths and a Lie, which we're going to do later, I found some pretty silly laws, and I couldn't quite confirm that they're still in place.
Yeah, we need to do some digging.
So I'm going to take this next week and try to find out if some of these laws are still, and that'll be our Two Truths and a Lie.
Maybe we can ask someone from law to be on the podcast.
We haven't had anybody from the law department.
We haven't had any from law. They're busy.
Yeah.
They're very busy. So, yeah.
Very good. Yeah. So, real quick before we move on, make sure if you have a name, boy or girl, so my wife and I's baby, send us what you think it'll be. And if you are correct, which sometime in September we will know, you will be eligible to win a prize. So,
will you bring the baby on the podcast?
I just might. Maybe the 2 weeks that I'm out. Yeah. We could do like a Zoom thing.
We could do like a Zoom thing. Yeah. Or you should have Jeanette. You and Jeanette need to come on the podcast.
Yeah. I don't know if she'll be doing that, but.
Come on. Yeah. Your girls were almost on the podcast last week.
They were trying to be on the podcast last week.
Yeah.
So that was rather distracting to have them in the background.
I think we should have let them on the podcast. They were funny.
Yeah. Very good. So, all right, we're going to take a quick break, and then after that, we're going to bring on our city arborist, Gary Jansen, and talk about some position.
Gary Jansen.
Too many Garys.
Too many Garys. Gary Farris.
Gary Farris. I'm on a roll today.
No, you're good.
So, Gary Farris to talk about the forestry department and some openings that his department has and the need for people to apply. So,
I think I'm going to apply for one of them.
That sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm. So. It does.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
If we didn't have a computer, fax machine, all the necessities that we need to maneuver in life, we'd be lost. And honestly, this is a great fit. Because during Christmas time, they have an Operation Holiday program for us low poverty families. And it's awesome. I mean, it's beautiful. I actually used to come here and play basketball in my teenager years. Over at the Lynette Woodard, they had the activities for us teens. Skating, bowling, all the good knits. But then when I got about 19, 20, I've discovered this building, and they had a little weight room over here where we can come lift weights for a little inexpensive price. And I'm like, what is that in there? And I seen computers, it's amazing because some doesn't have access. Just have access around the corner, it's fine. Oh, my babies, I have one who just graduated from Brooks. She'll be going to East High. She's a 9th grader. My baby, he is a football player. He plays 5 positions. He's 9. My baby girl, she is her name is Alexia. So I have Alexia, Kamari, and Alex. They come up, they get in a little corner and read their books or go outside to the park. They be like, oh gosh, you're gonna be here a long time, Mom. They know when I come up here, I gotta handle business. So I tend to, I'm an agency worker, I'm in the healthcare field. I'm a phlebotomist, I'm a CMA, and I'm a CNA. So I send all my timesheets to my employer, so I always come in and fax every week. Not only is it free, but you get out, mingle, see some different faces. Computers, why not? I mean, you need access to printing, faxing, anything that you need. Miss Julie and her team will help. I mean, if they can't help, they'll send you in the right direction.
All right, welcome back. We are now joined by our city arborist, Gary Farris. Gary, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, to kick things off, just tell us a little bit about what you do for the city.
Well, I do a lot of things, but as a city arborist, my job is basically to be the voice for the trees for the city.
Like the Lorax.
Yes, I am the Lorax. My kids tell me that I'm Lorax, and strangely enough, I have not watched that movie. I need to, but I haven't, and so that's a strike against me. Sorry. But essentially, I manage the forestry department. We do all things forestry within the city. We take care of the public golf courses when we can. We take care of the almost just under 10,000 miles of street right-of-way, the trees in that area. We've got 143 some named parks, all the trees in those areas. And we've estimated that we have somewhere in the realm of 350,000 trees that are in improved areas, not like the forest of Pawnee Prairie Park. We haven't estimated those numbers, but we have a lot of trees that we have to take care of. And we try to have enough people to do that. Right now we're a little short, but we do what we can.
We'll get to the shortage right now and kind of what we're talking about. But tell us, who is Gary when you're not at the city, not being the arborist? Who are you at home?
I don't know that the viewers really want to know that. I did not know that you were going to talk to me about what I was at home. My kids tell me that I'm cold and dead inside because I'm the guy that says no.
How old are your kids?
I've got a 9-year-old boy, and my girls are 15, 16, 17, and 20.
Oh.
And my 20-year-old has not let me forget that her birthday is in 12 days.
Okay, yeah.
So
yeah,
she's excited. I've got 4 girls and a boy, and there is all kinds of girl power at home.
I can relate. It's my wife's pregnant. She's due here in about a month and a half. We've got
good times.
We've got a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old, both girls, and I'm convinced this next one coming as a girl as well, because that's all I know. And so,
do you want to weigh
best
in?
of luck.
Do you want to weigh in and put your 2 cents in whether it's going to be a girl or a boy?
I have full confidence that Tyler has lived his life such that this will be a girl. I think you have earned that.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Thank you. So girl dad power. So.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot that goes into that.
You both are very outnumbered, so yeah.
And to be so emotionally closed off as I am, it's an interesting life.
Yeah.
All right, so getting into, but we kick these shows off with a game called Two Truths and a Lie.
Okay.
Did you bring your 2 truths and your lie?
I was more focused on the whole dad joke thing, but I can definitely come up with 2 truths and a lie.
It can be about you. It can be about trees.
Okay.
And if you need a moment to think, I can go first.
You go first.
Yeah. So Wichita has the most fast food joints in the country per capita. A show set in Wichita called Wichita Town aired briefly on NBC in 1959 to 1960 for 26 total episodes. And in 2012, a group of students at Friends University, calling themselves the Banana Bandits, started the tradition of buying bananas on Thursday night, hiding them around the campus for other students to find on Friday morning and eat them. So which one is the lie?
Okay, so I think I remember something about friend students doing something like that. I think the Wichita town is the lie.
Okay, what do you think?
Yeah, that's where I was going to go. The Wichita town. I don't think NBC has anything to do with Wichita.
No, Wichita Town. It was 1959 to 1960 for 26 episodes. It was a show centered on law and order in the town following the Civil War. So that was true.
And it was based in Wichita, Kansas?
It was based out of Wichita, yeah. I don't know. I didn't look into it enough to see if they shot it here. I don't think they did, but it was at least supposed to be based in Wichita.
I think we need to do a showing.
We should.
Along with the Kung Fu, Gorilla Kung Fu. What was it called?
I've heard of that one, but I haven't seen.
I love a good bad movie, so we should. King Kong Kung Fu.
There you go.
Yes.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah.
And then yes, there was a group at Friends University called the Banana Bandits, but the lie was Wichita has the most fast food joints per capita. It's actually Orlando.
Wow.
Oh,
So.
you know what? I can. Yeah. I'm sure that we're up there though.
In the site that I saw, we weren't in the top 10,
Oh,
which was
but
kind of surprising.
that's-
So I've always heard we're like the fast food capital.
That's kind of a good thing. We
Yeah.
launch a lot of fast food restaurants or fast casual. That's interesting. Yeah, I can see that. I know Wendy's was started here. Wendy's was the little girl sketch. The original one was sketched off of a picture of my mom.
Really?
It was.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, my mom's not Wendy, but they just like the graphic designer needed something, and he took a picture of my mom and sketched it because they did the branding at my grandfather's ad agency.
Wow. I just learned something today.
Yeah, that's my truth. That's one of my truths.
That's
That
one of
counts. There's Wichita
Your
history.
truth. I
My
get it.
truth,
I
yeah.
understand.
Yeah. So you know how they said they say Wendy has mom in her collar? That's actually true for me. Okay, so that's one of my truths. So don't guess that one as the lie. The second one is that I used to facilitate a giveaway of 500 trees a year. Me and my agency, I was an intern at the time, and one of the things I worked on was this tree giveaway for the community. It was called Caraton. And that's because a tree over its lifetime can remove over a ton of carbon dioxide from the air. So it was called Caraton. We gave away over 500 trees. And the third one is that turtles are illegal in Wichita.
I'm going with your second one is your lie.
It was a lie, and that's because we gave away over 1,000 trees.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, 2 truths and a lie. Okay. I want to say that. Pardon me. I really honestly was more focused on the whole dad joke thing. But all right. In my life, I have lived in 14 different states, chasing jobs and school and things like that. Within my career, I have personally been involved in planting more than 60,000 trees.
Okay.
And I have been a certified arborist for almost 25 years.
Now, all of those sound very convincing.
Yeah.
No,
It's because I'm a good liar.
Now, I'm going to go with either the first or the last one, because when you're having to make them up, it's either the first thing you're trying to get the lie out or the last one.
Your call.
So I'm going with the last one.
I'm going with the first one.
The first one?
Mm-hmm.
I thought about that one too, but
No, she's right.
she's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I haven't been in 14 states. 7, I think. I'd have to figure it out, and we're on video, so I'm not going to take that time to think about it. But yeah, I've been in several, but not 14.
So you've been a certified arborist for, what did you say, 25
Almost
years?
25 years.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Tell us a little bit about your professional background. What's your schooling in?
So I graduated from Oklahoma State University in 99 and did that with a degree in horticulture, and my studies there led into and the work that I had been doing just for jobs led into being eligible for the certified arborist test. So I took that, passed that, became a certified arborist, and then and I've been continuously certified. So that means that every 3 years I have to meet certain continuing education units. It's, same with most certifications. So I've been learning new stuff for the last 25 years, and I don't know it all. So there's more to learn by a fair margin. With the certification, I landed a job in Chicago, the Chicago area, working for a private tree company. Worked there for a little while. Worked in Kansas City, Kansas, doing tree care there. Spent a little time in Columbia, Missouri, Dallas, Texas, and now I'm here.
So Wichita's a tree city, isn't it?
We are Tree City USA, yes. That is a program put on by the National Arbor Day Foundation. And there are certain criteria that we have to meet every year to be eligible for being designated a Tree City USA. We have done that, I believe, for 36 consecutive years. So you can meet those criteria and not fill out the application, and you're not designated a Tree City USA. But we fill out the application and try to have that designation. So yeah,
that's really cool.
Very good. Now you kind of touched on it earlier. You're saying right now you're going out and you're trying to recruit more people to come work for the department.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about what your challenges you're facing right now.
Well, we have more work to do than we have people to do it.
Probably
that's simply the bottom line.
I think a lot of employers are in that.
Absolutely. I'm not entirely sure what has happened to the workforce, but I know that the forestry work section for the city of Wichita is not the only place where there is a deficiency in labor, shortage. But we need people. We need good people that want to have an exciting career. I mean, forestry is very, very unique. We do a lot of things that are really exciting, can be very fun. Even the adrenaline junkies that are out there, forestry is your place. If you're an adrenaline junkie, people go climb rocks for the adrenaline rush, right? Well, come to work, get paid for it, climb trees.
Yeah.
Right?
I've got a buddy who's an arborist. Shout out to Brian Brock.
Brian.
But he's a great guy. But I mean, he seems to travel all over doing this and do it for fun. And it's just it's like a way of life.
It is. There are a lot of people like Brian that it's an entire lifestyle. Not everybody dives that deep into arboriculture. And, I'm pretty deep into arboriculture, and I don't travel around all over the world doing this, but it is a possibility for sure. So there's a lot of different avenues in arboriculture that you can travel, but within the municipal side of it, our primary goal is public safety, and that seems kind of boring to some people, but we make sure as best we can that emergencies are taken care of, storm damage gets cleaned up, things like that, so that, if there's a limb laying in the street, for example, that fell out of a tree, we are the ones that are called to clean that up. Yeah. I'm on call 24/7, 365. My phone rings all day long, sometimes all night long, depending on what the weather's doing. But we respond to that because if fire truck, police, ambulance are trying to get down whatever street that is, and they can't do it, then the public is at risk. So we want to mitigate that and reduce that as much as possible. So we try to respond just as quickly as we possibly can. So that's just the emergency side of what we do. Normal work that we do, there are dead trees, dying, dangerous trees that are in the street rights of way or in parks, and we have to remove those because public safety. There's trees that are perfectly healthy and growing, but they're growing, and so they're hanging down into the street. They're hanging down over a sidewalk. They're impeding a sight line. We have to trim those. Once we take down a tree, we have to grind the stump, put dirt back, do site restoration. When there's all kinds of things that we do. I mean, and then there's the tree planting part of it that is really exciting too. For those that really get into and love trees, that's a really exciting part. To some people, it's completely boring. But to me, I love it. The tree planting is so vitally important to our community, to the future of our community, to the livability of our community, to our air quality, water quality, the heat island effect. All that is affected by how many trees we plant. I know there's been a push lately to influence how many trees we plant and to increase that number. And I've been trying to figure out a way to increase that number within our budgetary restrictions that we have. And we're doing some really exciting stuff. When I first got here almost 12 years ago, we had a challenge presented to us to get a tree planted in a particular location. It was a challenging location to plant a tree. And so we didn't invent the system, but it's not something that's commonly used around here. We couldn't find anybody around here that had done this before, but we basically bare root transplanted not a mature, but like a teenager kind of tree. It was bigger than what normally people would plant. Sure. So we transplanted it from one location to another and accomplished the goal. But we parlayed that into being able to plant or transplant trees in a year where our budget for buying trees to plant was suspended. So planting trees is a clear and present mandate for our staff and for us, and we just believe that it's really important.
Yeah.
Now, one thing, as you're looking for staff to come on or people to apply to join your team, one of the benefits would be, I would say, is the city's insurance, health insurance, and coverage and all that other places might not offer. Something that people should look at.
I have looked around, and I'm not an economist. They don't pay me to be an economist.
Arborists aren't economists as well?
There are some. There are a few. Not me, but that's okay. But I've looked around and like I said before, I've moved around different states and had jobs in the private industry. There's no place that has benefits like the city of Wichita.
Yeah, it's not the pay either. I mean, the pay is comparable, but also like nobody has a pension anymore.
Oh yeah.
But I think about there are several jobs in the city that I stare out my window, especially on stressful days, and I'm just like, I'm going to quit and I'm going to be a forester, or I'm going to take Todd Volcom's job and play with the animals. Todd, I am coming for you.
Watch out, she just might.
I love the little the Great Plains Nature Center and the Riverside Zoo, but yeah, it really is an adventure.
Oh, absolutely.
In there. I mean, every day you're doing something different.
Yes.
You're not sitting at a desk and dealing with, water cooler talk and stuff like that. But
and some of the stuff that we do, a lot of people think would be really, really scary. Other people think it's an adventure. Other people think, they get the adrenaline rush out of it. But when we, just to get into it just a little bit, but when we go to climb a tree, there's a lot of training that goes into it. So you got to understand that part of it. But when someone actually is there to do it, to actually ascend a rope into a tree, they're hanging on a rope that's a 1/2 inch diameter or less.
Yeah.
Out in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Some people would be just frozen by that. But, we've got guys that just right on up the tree, and, they've got a chainsaw hanging off their hip.
Yeah.
And, they're up there and they do the work and they do it safely and come back down and go do it again. And we've got bucket trucks. We've got, that can get us up into the trees and things like that. So, we have all kinds of crazy equipment and,
sounds like fun, honestly.
The technology for, and the advancements in technology and climbing equipment over the past 10 years has just been amazing. And we try to take advantage of all that equipment and all that technology. One piece of equipment that we have right now that is really relatively new technology for the municipal forestry, industry is we got a truck that we call a Grapple Saw. and the truck is just a truck, but the attachment on the truck is a crane that's operated by remote control. But the attachment on the end of the crane is it's basically a chainsaw that is attached with a grapple that can grab a hold of a tree limb or a tree trunk or whatever. And that's technology adapted from the logging industry. But when you're removing a tree, one of the things you have to watch out for is what's below the tree when you're dropping stuff. Well, this solves that. One of the things that you have to watch out for when you're removing a tree or be cautious of is when you have a person cutting off a big limb. You know, there's a lot of things that can go wrong if you don't know what you're doing. But this solves a lot of safety issues with being able to just, by remote control, grab a limb, cut it off, it doesn't fall, and we can maneuver the crane, set it down, and it's extremely efficient. And so we've got really, really good operators that, you know, understand the truck, they understand the trees, they understand what's going on, and, you know, they can just fly through this stuff and make it look like a dance. So, I mean, they're just really, really talented. Yeah. We just need more people to come alongside the current people that we have and learn those skills and apply those skills, and we multiply the work that we can do.
Now that sounds like my side of things. The climbing the tree, not so much. I'm not,
right.
not a fan of heights, but I could sit in the truck and play video games all day.
It's almost like that.
It does sound like, I mean, I know they're very safe and proficient at it, but it does sound like a grown-up toy.
Yeah,
it's absolutely a grown-up toy. There's no doubt about it.
We don't grow up. Our toys just get bigger.
Exactly, yeah.
And a lot more expensive.
Yeah. So, yeah, it sounds exciting. Someone who wants to do that sort of work, like what does their background have to be? Do they have to have any certifications or training to come on?
No, not really. I've seen people that are some of the best and most safe climbers that I've ever seen. They have an electrical engineering background.
Wow.
All right. So, you know.
But you don't have to be an electrical engineer.
No, absolutely not. That made no difference in their climbing skill at all.
Yeah.
You know, but we need equipment operators. Mm-hmm. They don't climb trees. You know, we've got equipment operators, you know, 1s, 2s, and 3s on our staff. We need tree climbers, and we need gardeners to work with our new plantings, our watering, you know, getting all that going. Working with our this pilot program that we've got going on, trying to multiply the number of trees that we can get in the ground. That's a whole deal that we're working on. So yeah, we need every aspect. We need some supervisors. So, you know, the more advanced positions, yes, we're going to look at background. Sure. You know, and there's obviously the interview process that we go through to, you know, navigate that. But then there's also some tests that we do after the interview process to verify information, verify skill level, things like that for, you know, obvious reasons.
Sure.
But we have a lot of entry-level positions open. And when I say entry-level, I just mean foot in the door level.
Yeah.
We've got a position that was created within the last 5 years in forestry, and not every city department has this, but we've got a position that's dedicated specifically for the training up of our forestry employees. We have such a unique job, such unique skills that are with very specialized equipment that we felt it was important that as new people come in that haven't been associated with this equipment, whether it's all their lives or, you know, whatever, that they get specialized training. And because safety is huge, you know, we deal with a lot of things that will hurt you if you use it wrong.
Sure.
That's true with a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
But we want people to go home with all their digits, you know, all that stuff. We want our equipment to be used properly and cared for and that kind of thing. So we train people up. So the need for someone to come in with copious amounts of experience isn't necessarily there depending on the position that they're going after. So I would hate for someone to resist applying for fear that maybe they don't know enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know enough. I need training. It's fine. We'll ask a question. We'll get you the answer.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
I have a couple friends who are in roofing right now, and one of them just hurt his back really bad. Do we have positions for people like that like that side of work that's, labor oriented, but maybe can't do some of the physical labor stuff?
There are a lot of requirements, physical requirements that are associated with our jobs that we just can't get around.
Yeah.
So it would be a case-by-case thing.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, if somebody is interested in looking to apply, where should they go? Wichita.gov, and then there's a jobs posting in there. All those jobs are listed alphabetically, so all city jobs that are available to the public are listed there. So you're going to see bus drivers, you're going to see mechanics, you're going to see forestry stuff, equipment operators. So read through them all and pick which 12 you want to apply for. We see that a lot, but definitely we need folks in forestry. Very good. All right. We like to close out these shows.
We've got something.
Oh, we
Gary
do.
First, yeah.
I forgot about that.
We have a quiz for you about trees.
A quiz?
Yeah.
Trees?
Yep. We're gonna see how well you know your stuff.
Well, I'm scared.
You haven't seen this.
We thought this out well in advance.
So well thought out.
For the record, I have not seen what's coming.
Yeah, he doesn't know what's coming.
So
I literally just before, we were sitting down at the desk. I ran across the hall and grabbed some pictures of trees, and hopefully I have the right names here of what these trees are, so I can.
No, first
I'm going to say that you don't, so that
I probably don't. I'll just trust that you say it confidently, and we won't know any different.
First of all, okay, I have a couple final questions before we get into it. A, what's your favorite tree?
My favorite tree that grows here.
Okay, that works.
Is probably the bur oak.
The bur oak. Okay.
Yeah. And if you go to Oak Park, it's full of them, and they're gorgeous.
Bur oak. Okay. And second, if someone had a question about what type of tree to plant, just in the average neighborhood, what should they plant?
Man, that is a great question because there's no good answer. Because tree species are so diverse. Between one neighborhood and another neighborhood, you're going to have diversity of soil type, you're going to have diversity of water content of the soil, water holding capacity. It's really site specific, but there are a ton of good trees that we can plant here and that they can be really successful when they get established. Any tree that you plant is going to need some help getting established. Yeah. There is a great website with Sedgwick County. We participated in developing a list of water-wise trees for South Central Kansas. But Sedgwick County Extension holds that list. It's on their website.
The K-State, Sedgwick County K-State Extension. All right.
And very, very good list. It's divided up between large, small, medium maturing trees. It's divided up into some evergreens. And so there's a ton of information on that, on trees to plant here.
All right.
Very good.
All right, now it's time for your quiz. Are you ready?
I was born ready.
All right, let's go to tree number 1.
That's going to be a juniper. Do you want the Latin name?
Oh, wow. What is the Latin name? I want the Latin name.
I don't know the Latin name. I was just wondering if you wanted it.
But do you want it?
I'm pretty sure that was Juniperus virginiana, but I could be a little bit wrong on that. There's a lot of different Latin.
All right.
Okay.
Good job.
What I had was a Leyland Cypress.
Well, look at the picture. I mean, come on. That looks like a juniper. I need my glasses on.
All right.
Leyland Cypress. Yeah, I don't even know if Leyland Cypress grow here.
They might not. And like I said, I looked these up, and I tried to do in 6A, 6B, and I couldn't tell you if I got them right or not.
Man.
So off to a good start
that was tricky. That was tricky.
You could just be confident, and I won't know, personally.
I thought about just letting it go, but then if somebody out there knew better, I'm like, yeah, probably ought to.
That looks like bald cypress. And that's my other favorite tree.
I think that's supposed to be, if we're going in order here, the Dawn Redwood.
Well, Dawn Redwood and bald cypress look the same from here. So there you go.
We'll go with that.
It looks more orange.
Dawn
to me.
redwood do not grow here, by the way.
All right,
Okay.
let's go to the third and final one.
That's Colorado blue spruce.
Yes, that is correct.
I knew that one.
Yeah.
So,
I like
Well,
it.
I cannot tell you how much I appreciate the tree quiz that makes me look like an incredible
No.
well, no,
buffoon.
the thing is, and I might need to go back and correct. We go back and look these up after this.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause
After it's on film.
He
Yeah,
Googled
after
it
we got
first.
it.
He
No,
was-
when I did this search, because sometimes like you search them and then you grab the picture and
yeah,
then
and it doesn't match.
it's not the right one.
Right.
So we'll go with it. It could be wrong on my side too.
Well, the truth is that bald cypress and Dawn redwood really do look almost identical.
Well,
They are not identical,
A
but they
picture
look
of-
that way.
Yeah, a picture of a tree is going to be different than you
So,
standing in front of a tree, too.
Totally justifying my answer on that one. And then, come on, the Leyland Cypress, that looked like a juniper sitting out on Kellogg.
Totally looks like a juniper.
Yes.
When I think juniper, I think of that tree.
Yes, I'm sure you do.
I do. All right. It's
All
dad
right,
joke
should we
time.
move on to dad jokes?
Yeah. I hate to look it up.
I've got a few in here, so if you guys use mine, I can fall back.
Okay.
You want to go ahead, Gary?
Well, I have two.
Okay.
So the first one you have to kind of think old school, not new technology.
Okay. All right.
So Winnie, the windmill, says to her friend, we've been sitting here pumping water for cattle for 30 years, and we've never really talked about music. Mozart, the classics, the Beatles, rock and roll. What kind of music do you like? And her friend says, I'm a big metal fan.
Oh, nice.
That's good. I
And
like that.
So, do you want me to go again?
Yeah, do.
All right. So,
Let's
this
go
is
there.
this is it. This is my last one.
All right.
So, I went to the store the other day, bought a sweater. Terrible static. I mean, I'm getting shocked everywhere I go. Things are sticking to me. I take it back. I tell them, hey, it's too much static. I can't wear the sweater. And they give me another one. No charge.
Nice. I had heard that somewhere, and I was like, what's the punchline? I know it's coming. So, you want to go ahead?
All right, so this one's kind of making fun of myself because in my job I get 1,000 calls a day and like lots of different issues, and sometimes I get confused. I'm like, okay, what am I talking about now? So I might mix up what I'm talking about. So the other day I got the words jacuzzi and yakuza confused, and now I'm in hot water with the Japanese mafia.
Very nice.
That was a lot of buildup.
That was a lot of build up.
A lot of build-up.
I've got another joke. Do you want it?
No.
Well, too bad. So, a guy walks into a bar after read this. And he sees 3 pieces of huge meat hanging from the ceiling. And the guy asks, what's this about? And the bartender says, well, if you can jump up and slap the meat, you get free drinks for the rest of the night. And if you miss, you pay for everyone's drinks in the bar for the rest of the hour. He says, do you want to do it? And the guy says, no, stakes are too high.
That is awesome.
Because it's meat that's hung up.
Yeah,
Like a steak.
I believe it or not, I got that.
You ready to ruin some jokes?
I'm ready.
Okay, why do trees
Jokes.
hate riddles? Because they get stumped too easy.
Oh, that was good. That one stumped me.
What's a tree's favorite drink? Come on, you should be able to get this one, Megan.
Bark, stick,
Root
leaf,
beer.
root beer. Okay. All right.
So
That's enough out of you.
Yeah, that's
I've
bad.
got like 5 more.
You're gonna have to email me those. That's great.
Yeah.
My kids are gonna hate those.
All right.
My kids are going to hate those.
And
I love it.
Talking about being cold and dead and all that good stuff. I have a gift from my oldest daughter that I believe was a birthday gift. It could have been a Father's Day gift. I think it might have been a Father's Day gift. And it's sitting on top of my monitor, and it just is a little tent sign that just says, I love my ungrateful children.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Very nice. Well, Gary, thank you so much for joining us and talking trees and about your department. So
Well, thanks for having me. this is a bucket list item. I'm going to be able to mark off, talking with the bearded beauty and the redhead.
Yeah.
Number 2 rated podcast in City Hall, Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah.
That is absolutely
2.
impressive. And let me guess, there's 45 different podcasts in the city.
We're getting close to that number.
There are a lot. We have a lot of podcasts.
But this one's number 2.
We're number 2
out of 3, but a 4th one is coming.
But we have the library has a podcast.
Oh yeah, the library.
Yeah, and then the Great Plains Nature Center is going to restart theirs. They talked about that, but yeah. So
bucket list item right here. Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah, our pleasure.
And thank you for joining us and watching. If you have any comments, questions, feel free to email us at social@wichita.gov. We'd love to hear from you, what topics you want to hear about, and different departments you'd like to learn more about. So anyway, thanks for watching.